Oh, man. All right. What's happening, everybody, man? Thank you guys for tuning in to the Cousin Kitch Happy Hour, Power Hour, whatever you want.
Power Hour.
Cuz, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. I think we got a little tropical storm headed our way here in Puerto Rico tonight. So I'm kind of excited to see how that goes. And we got first day of school tomorrow. So should be a exciting day tomorrow, if nothing else.
Yeah. It'll be fun. The kids, are they? They're going back into school, right?
Yeah. Yep. Thankfully.
Yeah. Very good. Were they excited?
They are excited, actually. For now, we'll see. You know, I don't like the fact that in Puerto Rico they're masking up in school. I don't like that at all. But it is what it is.
Yeah. We had seen some of that stuff, obviously still getting on the emails from Prosper ISD, Light Farms and stuff. And I think it's subject. I mean, Collin County, I think is no-go, or it's up to whatever. But yeah, it really is, man. It's super interesting. Kind of all the things that are happening.
Yeah. Strange times.
It is very strange times. Very strange times.
What's up, David? Big dog.
What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for tuning in, hanging out with me and Cuz. If you guys have any questions, anything on your mind, anything you're kind of wrestling with, from leadership to business to increasing headcount to attraction to finances to anything, Mr. Hillsman, we were just chatting about you before we went live. We were laughing about your the gentleman that speaks to you when you drive your car.
Yeah.
The best thing is how it ends when you arrive, and the message that he leaves you at that point. Oh man. It's too good. Cool, man. So lead gen strategies, lead gen ideas right now, I can tell you, and I've had a lot of great expert mentor calls, and I had one of the best, and I'm so excited to have him back on. I think we're on tomorrow. I've got Nolly Williams back on Expert Mentors, and I'm excited to ask him those questions again, because Nolly had broken down. This was right before pandemic hit. And he had really broken it down. He said, hey, here's the 3 top lead gen strategies that we all need to be paying attention to right now. And he said, number 1 is, where does, for most agents, 50+% of their business comes from people that know them, like them, love them, trust them. But yet so many fail to focus on the database and focus on those relationships. So he said, you've got to put systems and processes in place to be able to really, touch and love on the people that know you, right? And what are you doing to make sure that they're seeing you, and they're thinking about you, they're talking about you, right? As what coach said the same thing yesterday on the call. He's like, if they're not talking about you, they ain't thinking about you.
Right.
And so you've got to hone in on that. The other one was, he said, past expireds. And so you look at those past expireds. I would be willing to throw in there that you need to be loving on these for sale by owners, because we have seen a shift in pricing in a lot of the markets. And I saw Cliff's post yesterday. It was funny. It was something along the lines of, the party's over, folks. Go back to the way things were, right? Talking about pricing, and, the pricing, it's just not happening. And so for sell by owners, right, they're going to be pricing at the top of the market, but yet we know there are 115, plus variables in that process that you have to proactively manage to be able to get at the top of the market. So they're going to be hanging out on the market for a little bit. So we've always identified for sell by owners are the number 1 nurture that you can have. And it's all about building a pipeline full of nurtures. And those are the best ones. So I would say go after that. And then Nolly's third one at the time was notice of defaults. And he said, he said, most people don't realize this right now. He said, but most markets and major markets, they're up 3, 4, 500%. Now, this was pre-pandemic.
Right.
So I am really excited to have this conversation with him tomorrow, as here we are, right? We broke down this. Nolly, you shared this. Where are we at now? What are you seeing? So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow at noon Central, Expert Mentors Live. I've got the one and only Mr. Nolly Williams on with us, and we're really going to dive into that. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. Cuz anything else on your end? I know you guys dial in a lot with lead gen strategies, working hand in hand with Braden, getting agents leads. Like what are you seeing from your perspective?
Yeah, man. It's rarely that we find some kind of new breakthrough that's that's going to be change the game, right? So it's always just being consistent. I think that's probably the biggest challenge most people have, is that they stop doing things and you're not consistent. And so if you're consistently lead generating and you're consistently making your calls, you're consistently having conversations, updating your database, then you should always have people that you're working in at any given time. And so nothing has really changed as far as our strategy. We're always looking to try to niche as much as you can into whether it's neighborhood or neighborhood driven, or it's city driven, or it's whatever new construction driven, whatever you can do to try to find a buyer that's further along in the process. And today, even a more qualified buyer would be important as well. But yeah, that's been the same strategy we've been doing for years, and it still works.
Yeah, works well. And, really too, becoming a student of the market. How many of you guys are really, into paying attention to keeping current matters? Do you have your real market reports? Are you studying the market? Are you, do you know the geographical location? Do you know kind of really what's going on? How well connected are you getting with the community and community leaders? Right? Because things are shifting. Things are weird right now. And, the market's going to kind of move in a little bit of a direction. I've loved, the analogy, hey, this summer when prices hit, it was like a microburst. If you've ever been in a microburst, I mean, it's just crazy, right? I have an anchored in, grill on the back patio that gets blown sideways and skidded across the back patio. That's what a microburst will do. And that's, I think, what we felt, but yet I feel like we're on the backside. I don't think like this, but I do feel it's a little bit down, and it's still raining, right? We're still in the storm, but it's not, I think, we're through that. So, those are just kind of what we make sure we're really paying attention to, and, nurturing those relationships are the best. Because what was that book Dave was asking? Coach Burt.
Everyone Needs a Coach by Coach Burt. If you go to coachburt.com, all his books are there. You can order and whatnot. So
love it.
Everyone needs a coach.
Yes, sir. I think we touched on that a little bit. Best way to grow your database. A consistent lead gen strategy that is putting new opportunities in there. New construction funnel. I mean, all these other funnels, all these other opportunities in there. And then, obviously, continuing to add, relationships, top people.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a segmented list in our database, cuz was 105, 107 of the most influential people in our community. We touched on them. We loved them every week. We provided value to them. So it's not only, growing the database, and I'll never forget this, right? Dan Kennedy 101. He said, it doesn't matter how many people you have in your database. It only matters how many people you're proactively communicating to in your database. He said, that's all that matters. So you could have 30,000, but if you're only proactively communicating with 2, then you've only got 2,000. That's how he would look at it. So segmenting the database, how are you proactively communicating, and just, stay consistent. I think that you said that right from jump on this call. Stay consistent in whatever you're doing. Mary, no, Dallas is still a go. I mean, come on, Dallas is in Texas. Like,
Dallas, it's too soon to shut down Dallas. I think. I don't think they will be able to. we to be determined for other events, but we coming.
Dallas will be one of the last places to Florida would be the last, but Dallas would be next to last. So we're good to go there. Start and finish an event. This to expert content. Perfect. That's awesome. Dan's always hour and 7. Man, I love those jam-packed that are you can listen to almost in a.
I don't know if you caught this yesterday, but Coach Burt coached under oh man, it left me. Strategic coach.
Dan Sullivan?
Yep. He was a part of that group.
Did you ever go through part of that?
I didn't ever sign up for the full year thing. I hadn't. But yeah, a lot of great people that I've met have come out of that. That's for sure.
It's so good, man. Nick, Nick, Netton always talking about it, always talking about him. And then Who Not How came out. I was like, all right, I'm in.
Right.
And I think for me, what it was the virtual option, right? Prior to this, they didn't have a virtual option. You had to fly to Chicago or Canada 4 times a year. And they made a virtual option. It's about every other month. And it's it'll definitely change the way you think. And that's cool. That's cool that he went through that program. You're right, man. A lot of the amazing leaders that are running great companies or of tremendous influence that are of the value mindset. They've all gone through strategic coach.
Yeah, it's a great.
What's crazy is unless you just drop in a truckload of coin, like you got to go through the program, and you don't get Dan Sullivan until I think year 3, but you got to go. You just got to go. You got to go through it. It's awesome. Bentic, you got a small mint of Audible credits.
Who does?
David. He goes, I got 7 Audible credits.
Yeah.
I'll give you my standard answer. What problem are you trying to solve?
Yep. That is the right one.
Because we can give you all kinds of stuff. But if it's not trying to solve a problem or helping you with an initiative or a priority, it might be what did Jay Abraham always say? Intellectual entertainment.
Right.
Any plans for Canadian events? Some agents that are close to coming on board would love to have more local events to take them to. I would say possibly. Let's just see kind of what the rest of this year unfolds. See what hurdles we're going to have out in front of us. For sure. I mean, man, you guys have more hurdles to jump through than most.
Right.
Holly was back on Clubhouse again last night, and she was in there. I think it was one of JT Fox's rooms or whatever. Man, they were just like all up and down about vaccine. Get the vaccine, get it.
They were, huh?
Big time.
Who was it?
I think it was one of JT Fox's rooms. I don't know if Cardone was in there on that rant as well, but he usually is in that room with JT Fox and a handful of those interesting characters. Tropical storm, huh? This will be the first one you get to kind of hang out in, huh?
Yeah. Yep. First one. Yeah. I was already told by a couple locals that you better hit the grocery store before 5 o'clock because everybody goes crazy and like empties the shelves whenever any kind of tropical storm comes. So
yeah, it sounds like Prosper. Was Frisco that way too? Would they empty the shelves when the subtle? Yeah.
There's scared people everywhere, man.
Man, We would laugh. We'd walk into the grocery in Prosper, Texas, walking Kroger going, what is going on?
Right.
Oh, it's nuts. So cool. What else you guys have on your mind? What are you guys wrestling with? What are some thoughts? Kind of here we are almost halfway through the third quarter. Then it'll be hitting that Q4 and prepping for 22. So I know we've got a lot of events over the next few weeks, few months. We also have kiddos getting back to school. So, I was chatting with the Fosters this morning, and I think we have selective amnesia. I mean, we always know it slows up just a bit this time, over this little period, getting the kiddos back to school. So just be mindful of that as well. Mastering the Rockefeller Habits. Any other recommendations? Man, Mastering the Rockefeller Habits to me is a it's a reference manual,
right?
Just a book.
It's something that right? Like,
yeah. What else would you add in addition to that?
The Advantage, Lencioni, probably. Along the same lines of managing and leading a team and execution and planning and execution, right? Like there's a lot in that book. Rhythm. I mean, there's so much in Mastering the Rockefeller Habits. Like what I would tell you is I heard somebody say this. They were kind of rude about it the way he said it, but they said, well, here's what I would tell you is execute everything you read in the last book before you go read another one. Right. So like probably in this case, that might even apply is did you execute everything you learned in that book? Because that's a lot. And it took us multiple companies and multiple quarters and years to really refine and just really understand even the whole process. I think there's to a certain degree, a lot of it didn't seem relevant at certain times, but yeah, I mean, I think that's, that's probably, you don't just eat that one in one bite. It's a book that you, like John said, it's a reference manual. You should have a 1-page plan. And if you don't have your 1-page plan, then you probably move on to another book. Cause this is the framework that we've used to build companies. This is the framework we use to help agents build their businesses. And if you do it and you follow that process in that book, eventually you're going to get to the point where the value that a coach brings to the table is the things that the blind spots and the things that you don't see that we have seen before. Right. That would be the highest level of mentorship you can get is people that see things, that you've never seen before. And, you're like at any point that you're growing into an area you've never been, you're like a fish that's, like Mike always says, a fish that's, understands everything below the surface of the water, but nothing above the surface of the water because they've never been there before. And that's what happens to us in business is you don't know what you don't know. And you always have to be aware of that. And that's what good mentorship and coaching does is they help you see things that you maybe what are all the ways to accomplish a goal. And so that's that framework of that book is excellent and should be implemented at a high level.
Yeah, I would add around that book. I would use like what you said, the Advantage, because it gives you some insight in addition to rhythm as well as people. Then I would say, you're going to need, if you're building, you're going to need Simple Numbers, Straight Talk, Big Profits with Greg Crabtree. And then the other one that I would put in there would be Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0, because that gives you things that layers into everything Vern teaches in Mastering the Rockefeller Habits. It just gives you more depth on those topics. So it's not like, hey, these are different books to give you different concepts. These books give you additional layers of depth, right? It's go deep on those foundational principles, right? It's the Rockefeller habits. It's key principles to grow any type of organization. And those other recommendations give you depth to those principles. So, and they're all reference manuals. They're ones that will always, like, I mean, how many? I mean, shit, cuz you're in Puerto Rico now. I can guarantee you those damn books are within reach of you to be able to get. You know, so those things will be with you from now on, and
Right.
yeah, powerful. So Mr. Fowler's got a question. So targeting a niche of empty nesters, looking for people to sell after the kids moved out with that. I'll be starting a YouTube channel to target that niche. Would you focus the channel solely on the empty nesters content or add general real estate info as well?
Yeah, I would do general info as well. As long as it's relevant to the general information. As long as it's not a mixed message. If that's the goal of the channel is empty nesters, yeah, the general stuff should be just as valuable to them as the specific.
Yeah, living in a certain area, moving out of a certain area, downsizing in a certain area, and we picked this niche because there's data to prove that it's a niche that has a lot of opportunity. So it's not a blind, hey, I want to go after this. There's some data research behind it. But I'm with you too, cuz I mean, I think general, just anything that would apply real estate wise, if you're looking to downsize or move out. Upcoming events in one place. There is not one central location for all events.
Unfortunately, no, there's not.
No.
Good resource would be kinderystasic.com or BrentGove.com actually probably has the most updated list.
Yeah, BrentGove.com, kinderystasic.com. I cannot add, Mastering the Rockefeller Habits is Vern Harnish.
Yep.
The advantage is Patrick Lencioni. One thing that there's one book from Lencioni is he wrote this book, because I don't even think you've listened to this one. He wrote this book and it came out last year or the end of the year before, the end of 19 or early 20. And it was one of the ones that he didn't want to write, but he was like, man, you got to write this because it would lead up to the advantage. And it's called The Motive.
I haven't read that one. You're right.
And it's a simple Lencioni, fable format, right? He tells the story and then, then he breaks down the principles after the story. And it's just really uncovering, it gets back to, the motive, the why, like, why are you building this business? What's the purpose behind it? And, he just gives a great example, and one company trying to buy another company, and they end up coming together. And then the CEO that was trying to buy and absorbed realized that he wasn't the best leader, but he needed to be like a good number 2 or number 3 in the organization. But he owned the company, right? The company he had, but he knew that he didn't need to be CEO. He needed to be a different role. But it just understands the motive, your purpose, it goes back to that unique ability. What are you the best at, and where are you spending more of your time? So, if you guys are kind of struggling with why the hell you're even in this business or why you're even trying to build a business, The Motive is a really good one from Lencioni. So that would be in addition to. Then we said Simple Numbers, Straight Talk, Big Profits, Greg Crabtree. And then Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0 by Jim Collins. Like I said, those all work together, right? They all work together. They give you depth in the foundation and the principles to build any type of enduring organization. Doesn't matter. I mean, we could be talking about building snow cone stands right now, and it's the same principles apply. Man, you're talking about the fish and below the water. So Levi kicked off Atlanta last week, and he shared kind of the similar story, right? And he was getting frustrated when he started coaching with us, and he was like, just tell me what to do. And, you know us, we're not going to tell you what to do. We're going to tell you, it's would you rather us tell you what to do or teach you how to think? And he shared that whole example, right? And he said, is the most powerful gift of changing of somebody telling me what to do to now somebody teaching us how to think. And because he goes, I wouldn't be standing at the front of this room in Atlanta, Georgia, with a room full of rock stars if I didn't learn how to think. And so it was just really powerful. He did a good job. I think Andre recorded it or went live with it. It was really powerful. So it was really cool to see that. It was really cool to see their growth, right? We talk about events, and we've seen a lot of transformations, but think about the transformation with Levi in Hillsman and, James and Ron and,
Right.
Morris, Key West #1 to Key West #2.
Yeah.
Completely different human beings.
Yeah.
And that's what the power of getting connected in the right room with the right mentors, being able to plug into the right models, the right mastermind, the right coaches can do for you in a short period of time. And we're talking 12 months. I mean, completely different humans. It was cool. Cool. What else is on your mind, guys? It's definitely an interesting. Yeah, great questions. Thank you guys so much. What else you got? There's a lot of interesting things happening in the market, and just knowing what we've kind of been envisioning over the years. I mean, I know you've talked about this on stage 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
From a disruption standpoint, and why you have to be the true expert, the expert advisor.
You want to be positioned as the expert.
Ain't gonna be no room for AFAs. Oh, what's up?
Say what's up, Riggs.
Hello.
How you doing, buddy?
What?
You ready for school?
You ready for school?
No.
No?
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Get ready, boy.
I think Zane's feeling the same way.
Right.
Oh man. It's cool. It's cool seeing all the back to school pics out there. It's good. It's good stuff. Man, really appreciate all the questions, the feedback, and man, what else? What else on your mind? What else you guys wrestling with? Man, so you fly in Monday. Definitely get hooked up. You know when Mikey's flying in?
I think he's on the same flight as me. We didn't coordinate, but I think we just ended up on the same flight.
Okay, cool. And then Albie's still coming in on Tuesday?
Yep.
Okay. I am looking forward to next week. I'm going to see a lot of amazing people.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
This is going to be a big event. That's for sure.
Big time. Big time. You guys are, trying to get to Dallas or needing a couple of extra tickets. I know there's a few still floating around. So just, if you don't ASK, you don't GET. So if you guys are looking for a ticket or additional tickets, I know folks have been posting in the Honey Badger group. I think we still have a couple extra. So there's not many, but there is availability to get in. Finding a place to stay might be another challenge, but at least you can get into the room. First 30 days, what do you recommend they take NAEA branded academy? The big thing, what you guys have to be able to help them with is really help their plan. And, you know, we have a tool in there, the personal action plan. That's the number one thing. And, you know, I was thinking back, cuz what we did with our team members every time, right? We took them through a personal action plan. They got clear. And I always laugh when I tell the story. I was like, this is the same format that we used, Jay used from in 97, 98, 99, 2000, right? How we hit within just thousands of dollars of GCI every year with the target, because we got clear on the plan and we reverse engineer what it took to get there. Like crazy. Like the first year we broke 1 million, right? How I mean, like how, like
1 million. We had set it. We did it 2 years ago. We set a goal. I can't remember what year or whatever that was, of 500,000, and we did 510,000 that year. And that was more than 100% growth that year. Projected, nailed it. Unbelievable how close that it was. And then the very next year was we set the goal at 1 million, and we did 1,030,000. And so like it's fascinating how powerful. And so we do it every year. It's like, you know, reverse engineer the plan and use that personal action plan, and it gives you some insights too. And you know, as far as like what was the last. You know, where did your last 10 deals come from? Like, what's working? Like, you did something that was working. If you closed on some deals, so let's look at what we might want to do more of, right? And, you know, one thing, you know, you mentioned it a little bit earlier. I think it's worth re-mentioning again. You know, something Coach Burt said on the call, you know, about the relationships and the key relationships in your top 25. Like, you know, if I was really trying to win in real estate again, I would take that strategy of identifying the top 25 people that could refer you the most potential business, and build a relationship with those people, invest in those people, and be in front of those people. And I'm getting to experience it because I spent the money, you know what I'm saying, to hire Coach. So he's sending me a text. He sent me a video text message, personal message today. And it's, you know, it's in alignment with, you know, with what he's doing to help us, and you know, thanking us for getting him in front of all of our people and all that. But like, you know, if you really get to, you know, if, you know, as much, especially, you know, most people here that are watching, like we consume a lot of content more than most people and most businesses. And so there's a lot of things that, you know, if you can get to, you know, build relationships with people that you can help them with, and say, hey man, you know, check out this book I just finished, Mastering the Rockefeller Habits. I think you're really going to love it. Like things like that, and sharing that with people that are, you know, in other industries or other businesses, or just influencers that, you know, could add a ton of value to you, and try to build a relationship with them. No one else is doing it, not at a high level. And so, you know, that top 25 of you know, influential people that could impact your business the most. And I know it's working for Coach, because, you know, he's picked up probably, you know, 4 or 5 high paying clients just since he got me on board. Right. And so he's paying attention to who can impact his business and taking care of them. So certainly a strategy I think it's worth exploring. I don't think enough people do it, right? Like we did it at a pretty high level with vendor relationships, and we would teach the J. Abraham material back to all of our vendors as part of their program, and we were just pumping value back into the community, into the, you know, the businesses that we did business with. And so, you know, things like that, you know, I think are, you know, the deeper the relationship, the more referral business you get, and you know, the longer your business is going to continue to expand and grow.
Yeah, it's so powerful. On the strategic coach side, so I can see kind of a similarities where he kind of modeled that a little bit, but it's like, the question is, I think it's top 20, and it's whatever the top 20, I don't know, hit list, right? But it's the top 20 club is what strategic coach calls it. And it's what are the top 20 relationships that are going to provide new revenue to your business in the next 90 days.
Yes.
Relationships, right?
Yeah.
So it's not that person, but we have key people that if they're talking about us, they're thinking about us. When anything comes real estate, they're going to refer us. And you were saying about, you know, hey, didn't you not take that book to Hossein?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I did. You're right.
You took Master Rockefeller Habits to him.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Took it to his house. I remember you were heading out and you said, hey, I'm going to swing by Hossein's house on the way home, and I'm going to drop a copy off. I was like,
I sure did. You're right. I remember exactly. I remember the day that I did that. I remember walking up to his house and everything. Yeah. That's crazy, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
was back in the
Such
day.
good, man. Yeah.
What's crazy is that doesn't seem like that long ago that we were reading that book for the very first time, But at the same time, man, that was a freaking century ago.
Yeah. It's so good, man. That's just, right there is a perfect example. And he's a small business owner and influencer in the community. He had multiple businesses, and we just found something that really transformed our thinking and our process of being more strategic. And we just found value in it. So we just felt like, hey, I think you would find value in this. So that's a great example. Books are powerful, especially books that can transform your thinking and transform your business. Those are usually, especially for other like-minded business individuals, those are usually some of the best gifts that you can give.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good. So good. So personal action plan, put the plan in place, straight line strategic plan, help them put a plan, and then get them into CHSA, CHBA. I mean, that has to be their first 30 days, has to be and incorporate it into that. So yeah, that book, just one we've been talking about, Mastering the Rockefeller Habits, Vern Harnish. It's the one that we've been talking about for sure. Yeah. So real estate market data sources. So Leon, the three that we always recommend: Keeping Current Matters, which is the 30,000 foot view, is going to give you the whole landscape. The beautiful thing about Harney's team over there is that they provide resources for everything they talk about. They provide a resource. So that is the best 30,000 foot view. You get down into your local market. You utilize a tool called realmarketreports.com. It pulls from your MLS, but it puts it into a format that breaks it down in price ranges. So you can, really get to see what's really going on. And then down in the trenches, Focus First, the number one st.com, Focus First. Those are the three best tools that you can arm yourself with to really, one, educate yourself, but also position you as the local authority. For sure. Nothing on our radar personally, events, Florida, anytime soon. Making some adjustments. I know Key West is always a favorite of ours, so I'm sure that'll pop up on the radar. For sure. Rodolfo, yeah, bub. Yeah, man. Anytime, it's kind of what we're working on. So definitely, I think the thing getting into key countries is having key people that can kind of help lead in those markets that already have authority. I think will be part of the strategy. 87 Kevin.
87 Kevin in the house.
Man, some amazing. He posts some amazing pics from the water with the sunsets and stuff. It's just like,
Yep, he do.
Yeah, CHSA, Certified Home Selling Advisor, and then Certified CHBA, Certified Home Buying Advisor. Leon, you bet, bud. Absolutely. Last website. What the hell did I just say?
Realmarketreports.com, is that it?
Realmarketreports.com and Focus First. Focus, the number one, st.com. It's a visual pricing guide. So you plug in the data, but it gives you the visual reports. Remember, when we're positioning a home in the market, we want to help the sellers come to their own conclusion where the home needs to be priced based upon the data that we're providing. Because when the market shifts, we're not the bad guy, right? We have a proven, repeatable system. The data tells the story, and how we position your home is up to you based upon your goals and what you're willing to do. Hark the keys. Yeah.
I haven't listened to the Current Matters for this month.
I haven't listened to it in a bit.
Yeah, I try to keep listening, to see what's coming.
Yeah, for sure.
One of my favorite tools, man. If you want to be knowledgeable about what's going on in the grand scheme of things, Keeping Current Matters is amazing.
It is absolutely it. Man, cuz what a great call. I love the interaction. definitely appreciate you guys jumping in and asking questions. Drake fan, I know we know what the 6 is.
Yep.
I would, for personal reasons, would love to go do an event in the 6.
Yeah, me too, man. It's definitely, yeah. When things open up, I mean, right now, I mean, planning events is not the easiest thing to do right now. But when things get back open for good, I'm gonna be ready.
Things would come full circle with us doing an event in Toronto.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
First real estate event I went to was in Toronto.
Yep.
KCM, no, KCM is going to be high level on the absorption side of things. Your real market reports and Focus First will really nail that for you. It provides it. Just go down, just go to realmarketreports.com and download the free PDF, and it'll show you everything that you have. I mean, that's what we sent to the influencers. I mean, you're making an impact when, the bankers are walking into loan committee meetings with your market reports, and they're making housing decisions based upon the information you're providing of what's going on in the market. Awesome. Cool. Cuz, appreciate. I always look forward to Tuesdays.
Yes,
So,
sir.
make sure you guys lock it in the calendar. We have Albie on with us every other Tuesday, but Jay and I get to chop it up with you guys Tuesdays, 11 Central, like clockwork. I think we might be off next week since we'll be in Dallas for Brent Gove's Build 2021 conference, 3-day event. 2 of us had the honor of being on that stage. Hopefully Brent won't get mad that we're sharing that.
Yeah.
And we've also have Mr. Michael Reese and Albie Stasic on stage as well. And that's the Tony Robbins event. So we get to share the same stage as Mr. Tony Robbins, which is definitely
I get to say that every day.
You do not get to say that. So
Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah, good. Thank you for jumping in, man. Lock it in the calendar, and you're definitely in good hands there with Mr. Jesse Dow.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate y'all. Keep it rocking. If you have any questions, I mean, we're here. You can hit us up. Hit us. We don't just message and get in contact, and we're here to help you guys. So, us appreciate you as always.
You got it, bro. Later, man.